Hi y'all, this is Larry from Deep South Texas, and today we're going to make Asiago Bagels, and we're going to use our homemade Asiago cheese. So, I think the first time I made bagels, I thought it would be a good idea to make some Asiago cheese bagels too, because I really like them, but I had to make the cheese first, so it's taken a while, but I'm finally ready to make those and do this video. And here are the ingredients, and I will put a list of the ingredients in the description as well. But this is a Poolish or a sponge that I made last night. Real simple. A cup of flour, a cup of water, a half a teaspoon of yeast. Then we have another half cup of water, 3 cups of bread flour, a teaspoon and a half of salt, a tablespoon of brown sugar, a teaspoon and a half of yeast, and then we're going to grate up 1 cup of our Asiago cheese. And when we go to boil the bagels, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of honey and put that into about 3 quarts of water. Well, let's get started. So we're going to start out by grating our Asiago cheese. We need a cup. I'm using this box grater at the largest grate setting. So there is our cup of grated Asiago cheese. I've got it up and overflowing a little bit because I don't want to press it down. I want those that grated cheese to stay a little bit loose. We're going to keep the cheese around because just before we put them in the oven, we're going to grate a little bit more Asiago cheese on top of the bagels. To our 3 cups of flour, we're going to add a teaspoon and a half of salt and a teaspoon and a half of the dried yeast. And then we're going to mix that up real well. And then we'll begin adding our grated Asiago cheese, putting it in the flour to help keep it from clumping up. And we'll get that all mixed in. So our flour mixture is ready. Have that cheese all mixed in with the salt and the yeast. Let's set that aside for a minute and bring over the Poolish. And into this we're going to add our brown sugar and another half cup of water. Then we're going to mix that up real well. Well, that's mixed up. Now we'll start adding our flour a little bit at a time, our flour and cheese mixture, and get that all mixed up. Well, I had to get in there with my fingers to try to get this all mixed in. Bagels are typically pretty dry and stiff dough, and this is ending up being extra stiff here. But we'll keep working at it till we get it all mixed together. Okay, I got it put together pretty well. It's really stiff though. I have cleaned this bowl up a little bit and buttered it. And now we're going to put our dough in there and let it rest for 20 minutes. I'm going to cover it with plastic wrap. Well, it's been 20 minutes, and hopefully the dough has come together a little bit. Now we're going to try to do a series of stretch and folds rather than kneading the bread, because I don't want to knead that Asiago cheese to death. So we'll do that 3 more times over the next hour. Well, this is the last stretch and fold. The dough is really stiff. I think that's going to be okay. Now, I'm going to cover this again with the plastic wrap and let it rise for about 1 hour. It's a little cool in the kitchen here today, so I think I'm going to put it in the oven with just the light on. Well, it's been an hour and our dough has risen quite a bit. So it's time to shape our bagels. Let's knock some of the air out of it first. We want to divide this dough up into 8 pieces. Equal pieces, I hope. So let's get that done. Don't look too equal. Okay. Then we take one and we roll it into a ball. And then if we can, we try to stretch it out as smooth as we can get it. And I don't think we're going to get it too smooth with this Asiago cheese in there. And flatten it out a little bit. And punch a hole right in the center. And widen that hole up. About 1.5 inches. The hole really closes up during the cooking of this, so I'd say it's impossible to get it too big at this point. So that's what we have, and we'll put that on a parchment lined sheet. So let me get the rest of these done, and then we'll get back with you. And here they are. They've all been shaped. They were a little bit harder to shape than I was anticipating, so I think I'll increase the amount of water by 2 tablespoons. It's just harder to shape than normal bagels with the Asiago cheese in them. So we're going to cover them with a cloth. And then we're going to start heating the water to a boil and preheating the oven. By the time the water is ready, the bagels will be ready to go into the water. So our water is almost boiling. It's time to add in the honey. 1/4 cup. Okay, let's slip in our bagels. Cook them for 1 minute on each side. Let's flip them over. And time to take them out. Well, it's time to sprinkle a little more grated Parmesan cheese on top. And then we'll put them in the oven. The oven has finished preheating. It's at 425 degrees. And then we will bake these for 20 minutes. Well, it's been 20 minutes. It's time to take these out of the oven and see what we got. Well, they're looking pretty good and they smell great. Let's take a closer look. Well, there they are. And they look great. Got to let them cool down a little bit and then we'll give one of them a try or two. And here they are. Looking good. Looking good. I did take the time to put one in the broiler and toast it. So let's put a little cream cheese on that and give it a taste. They're still quite warm. And these were pretty hard to form. I think they were a little dry. Now bagels are supposed to be pretty stiff dough, but this was a little bit too stiff. So in the ingredients in the description, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of water. I think that will help these out quite a bit. But let's give it a taste. These are as good as you can get anywhere. I hope you give this a try. And if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.